Brooklyn, 4:17 p.m. Riley Monroe was arguing with her GPS. "Take a left in 200 feet, it said. "You said that 3 turns ago, you lying toaster." Meanwhile, Chase Donovan, tech mogul, emotionally unavailable since 2016, sat in his Bentley, sighing as his assistant droned through the Bluetooth. "No, Bryce, I said caviar, not carbs." Then, bam, her Mini Cooper met his Bentley in a screeching cinematic embrace. Riley flew out of the car, Starbucks apron still on. "Oh my God, your car looks like it costs more than my life insurance." Chase emerged, zero expression, like a Calvin Klein ad in distress. "You drive like you text with elbows." "Excuse me, ugh!" A groan interrupted them. An elderly man was sprawled on the sidewalk, groaning dramatically like an opera singer with arthritis. Riley gasped, "Oh my God, we hit Gandalf." Chase checked his pulse. "He's alive, barely. Get in." "My car is a tragic cube. Get into mine." They zoomed off. Riley, "What's your name, Bentley Barbie?" Chase, "The guy saving your butt." The old man muttering, "You two better name your first kid after me." Inside the Bentley, Riley clutched the dashboard like it owed her rent. Do all rich people drive like they're in a Bond movie? Chase didn't blink. Only when someone's bleeding on their Italian leather. She peeked behind them. The old man, now awake, looked mildly insulted. "I've bled on worse." Riley smiled nervously. "Sir, are you okay?" "I was, until your car attacked me." "Excuse me?" She snapped. "Your aura literally jumped into traffic." They screeched into the ER parking lot. Chase double-parked like he owned the building. Spoiler, he probably did. "You coming?" She hesitated. "I'm just a barista. You're clearly Bruce Wayne." He didn't respond, already striding toward the sliding doors like he ran on stock options and espresso. Inside, the nurse raised a brow. "Relationship to the patient?" Riley panicked. "His niece? Spiritually?" Chase, "I hit him. She screamed. We're trauma bonded." The nurse blinked. "Got it." In the waiting room, Riley tried not to fall asleep. Chase sat beside her, scrolling through emails like the ER was his personal Wi-Fi lounge. She whispered, "Do you ever smile?" He looked up. "Do you ever stop talking?" And then the doctor walked in. "Who's here for Mr. Godfrey? He's asking for his granddaughter." "Riley?" Riley froze. "What the hell?" "Granddaughter?" Riley whispered, eyes wide. "Do I look like I attend Sunday dinners with that man?" Chase smirked. "Honestly, you do have drinks warm milk with grandpa energy." Before she could fire back, the nurse ushered them in. Mr. Godfrey lay in bed with a smug smile and an ankle wrapped like a burrito. "Riley, you came!" She blinked. "We just met 30 minutes ago when you bounced off my bumper." He winked. "Destiny's faster than your brakes, sweetheart." Chase stood at the door, hands in pockets, trying not to enjoy this. "You're milking it, old man." Mr. Godfrey grinned. "I see you brought your husband." Riley choked. "He's not my... No, just the rich guy with unresolved eye contact issues." She sat beside the bed, tucking the blanket gently. Chase noticed her face soften. Her sass paused for one heartbeat. "She's got a kind soul," Mr. Godfrey whispered to Chase. "Don't screw this up, moneybags, or I'll sue you." Chase leaned on the wall, watching her laugh softly with the old man. For the first time in a long time, something inside him moved. And it wasn't indigestion. Then his phone buzzed. Caller ID showed Victoria, wife. The next morning, Riley rolled her eyes at the hospital vending machine. $3 for trail mix? Is it sprinkled with ambition? Chase appeared beside her with black coffee. No cream, no sugar, and probably no soul. "Here," he handed it over. "You look decaffeinated." She sipped and muttered, "Still not dating you, Bentley Barbie." They exited together, Mr. Godfrey waving like a king from his bed. Outside, Riley winced at the sight of her crumpled Mini Cooper in the hospital lot. May she rest in pieces. "I'll drive you to the garage," Chase offered casually. "I'd rather Uber with a chainsaw murderer." 10 minutes later, she was in his Bentley again. But the real drama unfolded at the garage. As she stepped out in her boots, a bodybuilder man in a leather jacket walked up. "Mac?" Riley blinked. Mac smirked. "Wow. Still wearing sarcasm and cheap eyeliner?" Still ghosting people with four-syllable word abilities? Tension buzzed. Mac grabbed Riley's arm, hard. "Let go," Riley said, voice low. A second later, Chase was between them. Cool, calm, and CEO deadly. "She said, let go," Max scoffed. "Who are you, her boyfriend?" Chase didn't blink. "I'm the guy you don't want to mess with." Monday, 9:42 a.m. Riley burst into Starbucks 20 minutes late for her shift, smelling like stress and leftover hospital coffee. Her manager, Greg, 35, man bun, emotionally invested in croissants, glared. "You're late, again. I had a near-death experience last week with an actual Bentley," she shot back. "Get the Bentley to give you a job because you're fired." Boom. Just like that. She walked out, apron in hand, muttering, "Screw caffeine. I'm dating tequila now." Cue text from an unknown number. Stratasys Corp, HR. Interview at noon. Don't wear anything tragic. CD. She stared. That Armani robot set me up? Cut to the Stratasys lobby at noon. Glass, steel, power suits. Riley in a yellow thrift store blazer sticking out like a sunflower at a funeral. She walked into the HR office. Chase was already there, arms crossed, deadpan. "Is this an ambush or a weird date?" "Neither," he replied. "You need a job. I need a chaos coordinator. You're oddly qualified." She scoffed. "You mean assistant?" "I mean executive assistant. With dental and boundaries." She folded her arms. "And what if I say no?" He leaned closer, voice like velvet and vodka. "Then you'll miss watching me fall for you." Riley's first week at Stratasys Corp was a blur of acronyms, overpriced office snacks, and figuring out how to walk in heels without dying. She stormed through the hallway, iPad in hand, muttering, "Q2 deck, investor call, and an allergic CEO who won't eat gluten unless it's from Italy. Got it." Chase trailed behind, impressed. "You're oddly functional under pressure," he remarked. "Childhood trauma and caffeine," she replied. "Like most millennials." Inside the boardroom, she handed him notes, clicked the presentation, then whispered through clenched teeth, "You missed page 3. Again." His lips twitched. So bossy. "Try being grateful," she snapped, before noticing his gaze lingered just a second too long. The tension between them simmered. He'd stare a moment too long. She'd roll her eyes, but not walk away. The whole office noticed. HR whispered, interns speculated, someone even started a betting pool. In the elevator, alone together, Riley pressed the button for floor 20. Chase didn't move. "Staring contest?" she quipped. "I was just wondering," he said smoothly, "if you always look this good when you're late." The doors closed. Silence. Tension. He stepped 1 inch closer. She raised a brow. "If you're gonna flirt," she whispered, "at least bring snacks." Ding! Floor 20. 9:07 p.m. Stratasys was a ghost town, except for Riley's desk, glowing with half-finished reports and a stale energy drink. She muttered to herself, "This financial forecast better be worth the eye wrinkles." Chase appeared from the shadows, jacket slung over his arm, shirt sleeves rolled to danger-level hot. "You're still here?" "I'm committed to chaos," she said, typing furiously. "And I ran out of popcorn at home." He leaned over her chair. "You missed a decimal, but you are good. Real good." "That's me. Want to be my company's baby daddy?" she quipped. She looked up. Too close. Too quiet. Their eyes locked. She inhaled. "Do you do this to all your employees?" "Only the ones who wear chaos like perfume." She stood up, barely. His hand brushed hers. Static. Silence. Then, he kissed her, soft, deep. 1 part apology, 3 parts confession. For a full second, Riley let the world stop. Then he pulled back, eyes wide, like he'd broken some invisible rule. "Riley, No," she whispered. "Don't ruin it with words." He stepped back like he'd been electrocuted, grabbed his jacket, turned. He walked out. She stood there, stunned, lips tingling, heart pounding. The office lights flickered once. Then it went dark. Monday morning, Riley entered the office in a red power blazer that screamed, "I dare you to ignore me." Chase? Nowhere. His office door shut. His calendar in meetings. His face apparently erased from existence. She marched past the interns who whispered like teenagers in a CW drama. Didn't they? I heard it was in the cubicles. With tongue. Riley smirked, but inside, full-on hurricane. By lunch, Chase still hadn't acknowledged her. Not a glance, not a text, just radio silence. She passed his office again. The blinds were closed. Coward, she muttered under her breath. Meanwhile, Chase sat inside, staring at his phone, heart tight. You kissed her, genius, then ran, like an actual toddler. He looked at a photo on his desk. Him and Victoria. Fake smiles, champagne, lies. He closed his eyes. Outside, Riley finally snapped. She barged in, slamming the door behind her. Are you avoiding me or just pretending I don't exist? He looked up and froze. She stepped closer, voice calm but sharp. You kissed me. Now grow up and explain it. He stood slowly. You want honesty? Beat. I'm married. Married? Riley blinked. Like, legally? Emotionally? Ironically? Chase exhaled. Legally, yes. Emotionally, no. Ironically, painfully. She stepped back like he slapped her. Wow. Just wow. So I'm what? A cubicle side chick? His jaw tensed. It's complicated. It's always like this with men like you, she snapped. You kiss like you mean it, vanish like Houdini, and then drop a marital status like it's fine print. He ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. I'm separated. I filed for divorce months ago, but it's not done. So you're technically still married and emotionally a wreck. Great. Silence. The conference room glass fogged with tension. I never meant to kiss you, he said. Oh, same, pal. I meant to slap you with a spreadsheet and call it a day. He stepped closer. But I did kiss you, and it wasn't a mistake. She stared, torn, angry, hurt, mostly hurt. I quit, she whispered, effective immediately. Riley, no, she said, holding up a trembling hand. You don't get to explain your brokenness and call it romance. She turned, walked out. Chase didn't follow, but his voice cracked the silence. I wish you'd let me tell you why I'm broken. Riley's desk was empty. Her chair sat turned away, a forgotten sweater draped over it like a memory. Interns peeked and whispered. HR shrugged. Roger from finance muttered. She made Mondays tolerable. Chase stood at his glass wall, pretending to read an earnings report while secretly watching her absence settle in like smoke. No sarcastic post-its, no iced coffee slamming, no verbal sparring to keep him sharp. Just silence. He checked his phone for the 5th time. Still no message. Still no Riley. By noon, he'd reread her resignation email 12 times. Subject: Peace out, suit man. Body: No regrets, just caffeine withdrawals. Don't call me unless you learn how to emote properly. R. His phone buzzed. Victoria. Again. He let it ring out. That night, back at his penthouse, Chase stared at the city lights. Empty wine glass, untouched dinner, his own reflection looking sad. He clicked her contact. Thumb hovered over call. Then he saw it. Her Instagram story. Location tagged, Brooklyn. Caption: Rebuilding, not available for emotional charity. She looked stunning and gone. Thursday night, Brooklyn. Riley's apartment buzzed with music, candles, and the smell of takeout dumplings. Then, knock knock. She peeked through the peephole. Unbelievable, she muttered. Bentley Barbie brought receipts? She opened the door, just enough to glare. Chase stood there in a hoodie, jeans, and a lost expression. Not CEO, not polished, just a man, holding whiskey. I'm not here to win you back, he said. I'm here to tell the truth. She crossed her arms. You've got 60 seconds, and my neighbor's nosy. He handed her the bottle and exhaled. He swallowed hard. Caught her cheating. Riley blinked. Seriously? That's straight out of a soap opera, meaning unbelievable. He half laughed, paused. Her cousin. Her actual blood cousin. In my damn beach house. On her birthday. Silence. Riley's jaw dropped. Are you serious? That's like Greek tragedy level betrayal. He nodded. I filed the next morning. But somewhere along the way, I forgot how to feel anything until you. I don't know what to do with this, she whispered. He stepped back, voice low. Just don't shut the door yet. Monday, 9 a.m. Riley strolled into the Stratasys building like she was walking onto a runway called Boundaries. No drama, no lingering looks, just a killer blazer, perfect eyeliner, and a vibe that said, if you speak feelings, I don't. She stepped into Chase's office, placed a file on his desk with precision, and said, I'm here to work. Period. End of novella. Chase looked up, slightly stunned. Understood. Riley tilted her head. Is it? You look like you just swallowed a regret sandwich. He straightened his posture like a man trying to look like a CEO, instead of a walking emotional paper cut. I'm glad you're back. She blinked. Try saying that again, but make it sound like you're not about to cry. Chase opened his mouth. Riley held up a finger. Never mind, I don't have the emotional Wi-Fi for this. She walked out, leaving behind a quiet so loud it hurt. Later that evening, Chase opened the file she had given him. On the last page, written in sharp black ink, P.S. I still spot your typos. You're welcome. He smiled and whispered, she missed me. Tuesday, 11:46 a.m. The conference room was painfully quiet. Riley typed. Chase scrolled. There was a new project and both of them were zoned in on it. Well, mostly. They sat on opposite ends of the glass table, separated by a laptop, a spreadsheet, and enough tension to short-circuit the Wi-Fi. Page 4 needs cleanup, she said flatly, eyes locked on her screen. Chase didn't look up. Already done. Beat. She glanced up. He was already looking. They locked eyes for exactly 1.5 seconds, long enough to trigger a full emotional earthquake. She blinked hard. Try not to make staring a team-building activity. He looked away, smirked, just barely. Noted. They worked. Quiet, efficient, awkward. At one point, she passed him a report on the new proposal. Their fingers brushed. She recoiled like she touched an exposed wire. Chase didn't flinch, but he didn't move either. By afternoon, Riley stood at the printer, looking satisfied. You know, I could actually be good at running this, she thought to herself, feeling validated after eons. Then Chase walked by and self-validation took a rain check. No words, just a glance. A long one. The kind of look you give someone when you're drowning. And they're both, the ocean and the life raft. She stared back. No sarcasm, no smile, just everything she wouldn't dare say out loud. He finally looked away. She didn't. Thursday, noon. Victoria Donovan walked in like she owned the building. Hair glossy, heels dangerous, and attitude designer labeled. 30 minutes in Chase's office. Closed door, muffled voices. No fighting, no glass shattered. Riley didn't flinch. Until the door opened. Victoria walked out smiling. Chase followed her out. He was smiling too. Riley froze in the hallway, file in hand, stomach in knots. Their eyes met. His smile faded. She walked up to him, throwing caution to the wind. Hope I'm not interrupting your honeymoon flashbacks, she said, voice sharp but shaky. Chase blinked. It wasn't like that. You're smiling. She's smiling. She gave a bitter laugh. You both look happy. Riley, just listen. But she turned away, eyes shimmering. No, it's fine. Really. You both deserve each other. He moved toward her. She stepped back. One tear escaped, damn it. And she turned fast, heading for the door. Riley, wait! She didn't. He caught her at the hallway corner, grabbed her arm gently. She stopped, breathing hard. Eyes refusing to meet his. Why did you have to make me wish? To dream for more? Riley couldn't help it. You have no idea how wrong you are, he said softly. She stood still, but that single tear had already said too much. Thursday night, Stratasys. Empty halls. Heavy air. Riley walked into Chase's office without knocking. Eyes still sharp, voice still cautious, but heart quietly trembling. Chase was waiting. No tie, no mask, just him. I didn't smile because I was happy with her, he said. I smiled because it was finally over. She folded her arms. Right. Just a quick chat with your ex-wife and suddenly peace blooms? Chase stepped forward, holding a file. She wanted the company, he said flatly. Half of it. Control, name, board seats. That was her price. Riley blinked. And you, what? I gave it to her, he said. Signed over 49% of my shares. Walked away from the board. From everything. A beat of stunned silence. Why? She whispered. So she'd sign the damn divorce papers. And never look back. He handed her the envelope. Inside, the proof. Her fingers trembled. You gave her your company? Why? He stepped closer. Because you're the only thing that's felt real in years. And I want to build something from scratch, with you. Silence. Then she exhaled, eyes glinting. I still hate that you smiled. A pause. Then, fine, he said, half grinning. Then make me earn your next one. Friday, Chase's office. Golden light pouring through the blinds. The kind of light that makes you believe in second chances. Riley walked in. Slowly. Chase was at his desk. A single folder in front of him. Her name on it. No flowers, no grand speeches. Just this. I had this drawn up last night, he said. My final pitch. She raised an eyebrow. Is this about work? He shook his head. It's about us. She opened the folder. Inside, a personal letter. Short, direct, honest. You're not a chapter, you're the story. I want to be our company's baby daddy. Even if you don't like my job proposal, don't take your heart away from me. And beneath that, a resignation letter. His. I stepped down, he said. I'm out. No title, no boardroom, no conflict of interest, just a man. Riley closed the file. Slowly. Eyes wet, but heart shining. You sure that was a smart business move? He walked around the desk, reached for her hand. Love isn't smart, but it's the only thing worth risking everything for. She didn't speak. She just kissed him. Finally. No confusion, no running, no holding back. And for once, no cliffhanger.